The first budget hearing for the fiscal year 2024-2025 is called to order at 7 o'clock p.m. I'm going to stand for a moment of silent meditation followed by a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Mayor Clerk. If we have roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Nickerson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Perella.
Here.
Councilperson Lightfoot Ward. Also present for the record, Janice Jacoby, Village Clerk, Christy Alou, Village Manager, Joseph Geller, Village Attorney, and CFO Tevenfo.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by Councilperson Lightfoot Ward. Do I have a second? Second by Vice Mayor Perella. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Hearing none. Moving on to good and welfare. You guys will have a chance to come up and talk about the budget when we get to the budget and stuff anyway, so when we do the resolution. All right. That being said, let's go to the first resolution. Resolution F1, adoption of ad valorem tax rate.
Mayor.
Yes.
Item F1, resolution number 2023-20, adoption of ad valorem tax rate for fiscal year 2024-25. A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of El Portal, Florida, Miami-Dade County, Florida, adopting, it says final, that'll be for next time, adopting the preliminary?
Yeah.
Tentative.
Tentative.
The tentative levying of ad valorem taxes of 8.3000 mils, which is more than the rolled back rate of 7.3290 mils by 13.25% for the Village of El Portal of Miami-Dade County for fiscal year 2024-25, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date, and this is first reading, Mayor.
Thank you very much. First reading. Do I have any questions or comments? If I don't, can I have a motion to approve resolution F1?
Mayor, just for the record, per the statute, we have read into the record the rolled back rate, the percentage increase, and the tentative millage rate, which will be final as of the next meeting.
Absolutely. Do I have a motion to approve resolution F1?
So moved.
Moved by Vice Mayor Perella. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second by Councilperson Lightfoot Ward. Do I have any questions or comments about F1?
I do.
Go ahead.
Are we on the right course?
Yeah, we're on the right course.
Based on what we can see tonight, is there stabilization there somewhere?
We are stable. We're not only stable, but we haven't raised taxes ever in our administration.
I like that to be for the record, so everybody would know that, and the fact that it is what it is right now. I can lean on cost of living, yes,
Yes.
that's all.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? I have a motion. I have a second. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call? I did. No.
Roll call. Councilperson Lightfoot Ward.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Perella.
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay. Thank you very
He
much.
didn't hear the thing. We're on the second. You can
And Madam Clerk, I don't know if you noticed on the resolutions that the names and the titles are a little.
Yeah, I don't do the resolutions. That would be with the attorney.
Okay.
And the numbers also, correct? That's what you're talking about, Vice Mayor? The numbers? The year?
No, I'm sorry. No, just the order of the roll call. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
point of order, we are on roll call. We just had councilperson.
Also present for the record, Councilperson Erbaum.
Yes. Now you can vote if you want.
All right.
Can he vote?
No.
He had already
No,
passed.
he's already passed.
Okay.
Resolution-
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, we already did it. Sorry.
Resolution F2, we want to read that into the record.
Resolution F2, adoption of the budget for fiscal year 2024-25. A resolution of the mayor and village council of the village of El Portal, Florida, Miami-Dade County, Florida, adopting and approving the annual operating budget of $4,877,215 for fiscal year 2024-25, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. I know Manager Alou would like to say something into the record.
Yes, I would. Thank you very much, Mayor Nickerson. I just wanted to clarify something I stated at our workshop last week. We were discussing staff increases and staff raises based on COLA, and if there was some confusion or I didn't develop that, what my statement was, it was that all staff who have received the salary increases receive them based on performance. We do not do revenue generation as a means of, paying our employees. We just wouldn't be able to do that, and that's not legal, but we are increasing those salaries based on merit, based on them developing themselves professionally and their department for their, dedication to decreasing the backlog of cases and creating efficiencies within the department that have been cost-saving in some respects, but also, again, efficiencies that are helping us utilize the technology the best we can. So I just wanted to put that out on the record and make sure that, I was clear about the statement made about staff increases. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Manager. Appreciate it. This resolution, you guys, is about the budget. Anybody, let's start with the audience. Anybody, well, let's start with you guys. You guys have any questions or comments about the budget? We had the workshop. Council?
Can we hear from them first, Mayor?
So that's what, I'm going to go to them next. I just didn't know if you guys had any last questions or comments, but I will go to them. And open it up to you all. Questions, comments about the budget? Come up, say your name and address for the record. Come up, say your name and address for the record. You're good.
My name is Eric Strickland, 268 Northeast 85th Street. My question is about transportation fund expenses, specifically tree trimming and no sidewalk or street repair in this budget. I'd like a clarification on the tree trimming budget, why it's not specific to right-of-way, and why there's no sidewalk or street repairs in the budget.
All right, so as far as the tree trimming, I mean, we only trim right away. We don't go into people's yards and trim within people's yards. We could add right of way, ROW to the line item if you want to.
If it was consistent with the past budgets where it said ROW trimming,
We could do that. That's no problem. We could put a little dash in that and add ROW. He's trying to say that the tree trimming's not specific enough. It doesn't say right of way. But we don't go in people's yards and trim trees. We only trim right of way. But we could add ROW to the line item.
Absolutely. Thank you.
so that doesn't cover any parks or other properties, not the trail, that's just.
For the tree trimming, that does, all right, so you're talking about encompassing the right-of-way of the hurricane preparation tree trimming. That also encompasses when trees also fall. That also encompasses when trees also fall. That encompasses all of those type of things. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we had a full tree fall down on 87th Street. That would encompass that line item also.
Okay, so it'll be consistent with the past?
Yeah, be
Great.
consistent with that.
But
Street and
better.
sidewalk repair?
All right. So for street repair, for those type of things, street repair is just very expensive. We do pothole. We fill potholes every year. We're about to do ours this year again. The largest potholes, a lot of them started on the west side, so we started to hit those up first. As far as street repair is just really expensive. As a matter of fact, I was on a meeting this morning with County Commissioner Hardeman's office about street repair of Short Force. And so that happened this morning. It's really expensive because we just don't have the full funding to repair all the streets. But Sherwood Forest is the area that we know the streets are the most deteriorated, so that's the focus that we're going to have when it comes to street repair.
So what's the budget for this year? Maybe I have an old copy.
Yeah, so we have 91,000 full in those funds, but I think 40% of those funds are for transportation, I believe.
Well, it's 20%
Is it
for
20%?
transportation, or
20%.
transit.
Transit,
And
yeah.
80% for transportation.
Yeah, 80%.
And that 80% would cover any sidewalks or
91,000.
tree maintenance in the right-of-way, anything related to the maintenance of our roads. And that's where we get our funding for the pothole repairs and anything that comes up.
So can it be broken out consistent with the past year's budgets? Can it be broken out consistent with the past budgets?
So
I don't understand, broken out in what way, what do you mean?
Street and sidewalk repair is an account number as shown in previous budgets. This year, the version I have, it says $44,000 in contracted salaries, $30,000 in tree trimming.
Okay, we can ask our, yes, we can look into it. Our CFO can speak to that.
I'll be more than happy to look into that for you. What year are you specifically looking at?
2020, 2021, 2022.
Sure.
Seemed to have changed in 2023. It's no longer separated.
All right, I'll take a look at it.
What is the contracted salaries for under transportation fund expenses? 44,000.
That is personnel. The director of public works that we have here for the village.
And
His salary is
They
allocated.
exclusively work on transportation?
I'm sorry?
They exclusively work on transportation,
I'll
or do they
let-
work on
I'll
others?
let the manager speak on behalf of that.
No, does our public works exclusively work on transportation? What's the
He wants to know
question?
what the $44,000 contracted salaries is. so-
Right. Under our funding for CITT, a portion of that can go for public works salary. So that is that portion.
Yeah. I'm not on the CITT page. I'm on the transportation fund revenue expenses page, page 13. CITT is 14. There's no contract employee on that.
That was, I'm sorry, that was a misstatement there. The contracted salary, this is the revenue that comes in from the local gas tax, and of which some of the salaries for the public works director who handles the who handles the streets, repairs, roads, and the streets and the roads. So we allocate a portion of his salary to this particular fund. The rest of his salary is allocated to the general fund.
So $44,000 is allocated to transportation funds. There's no street repair and $30,000 of tree trimming. What percentage of that is of that person's time is allocated to street repair? Roughly.
I'm not sure I understand. What percentage of what, sir?
You said you allocated a percentage of personnel's time to street repair, and the budget amount is 44,000. Is it
It's
50%?
not the street repair, it's the public, it's, the 30, I believe, I have to look at my notes, but I believe it's 30, it's either 35 or 40% is allocated, of the salary is allocated to this particular line item.
And they oversee in this budget tree trimming?
Yes,
That's
sir.
the only other expense.
As well as the roads and streets of the village.
There's no expense for roads or sidewalk in the budget. It's just tree trimming.
I understand, sir. So we can always add line items.
But I'm asking if you're adding any money for street or sidewalk repair next year.
I guess that's a decision that we'd have to, I'll talk to the mayor and the manager about.
Okay.
We could obviously figure it out. We have, this is the first reading of a budget, so if we want to reallocate the funds, we can. We are limited
I'm
in
just
our.
asking the questions.
No, I understand that, I'm saying, and these are, we had meetings throughout the last couple of months to go over the budget, and this is what was determined. You're raising questions that were not discussed, so again, if this is something that you're raising and we want to review,
Well,
it's
I'm
definitely.
asking you, sir, why you're allocating $44,000 of salary to oversee $30,000 of contract work? That's what your budget says.
The $44,000 is for Mr. Simpson
Yes.
And Mr.
and Mohan,
It's for
right?
Mohan, it's for our Public Works
Okay.
Director and our Public Works Coordinator.
All right.
And it was just we allocated a certain amount from a certain fund for the salary, and the other comes from another to make the whole that is
Which
the
I'm
item
so-
for Public Works.
I'm sorry to interrupt, which is on Public Works, the $81,000 for
Right.
contractor salaries.
That is correct.
All right. So let me
So,
try to.
so my questions were on transportation
Yeah.
fund expenses.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering them.
Thank you.
All right. Did you get the answers that you, or are you, did you not get the answers that you were looking for?
I think I got a good
You
idea.
good? All right, all right. I was gonna try to clarify a little bit more. Do you have my card or my information?
No, sir, I don't.
No?
But,
All right.
It's just the same question.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, if you have any more clarification that you need, you can contact me. If I remember, you were at the FIU Walk and Talk, right? For the, was that you? That was you that was there that day for the FIU, for the resiliency Walk and Talk, when you walked to the?
I've attended a lot of these. They're
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So we'll get you my card. If you have any questions, you can contact me. And I think I can more in detail kind of explain to you. I think I kind of know where you were going with that. All right.
No street repairs, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else with any questions about the budget? Yeah, no, you need to contact me, 'cause I see what you're saying, and is more detailed than that.
Hi, good evening. My name is Warner Dreher, 486 Northeast 87th Street. So just had a couple of observations here and recommendations. I did send emails to the council. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read them. So the first is regarding line items. My recommendation is for adding line items for salaried employees, for vacation time and overtime for the two positions. The idea is that that will help us have accountability, what's being paid off by vacation time year over year, and it will serve as a tracking mechanism. So the recommendation is for adding to the administration and finance section, the vacation line item. And the other one would be for the department village clerk, page 7. There we would have vacation and also overtime. So that's my first notation, so I'm not sure if you guys want to.
Perfect, yeah, no, that is something that I raised that concern last year on the meeting, budget meeting, that it should be,
Breakdown?
break it down, yeah.
Okay. So I guess.
Yeah,
we'll-
Consensus?
Came
Yes.
up again.
Okay,
Sounds
thank you
good.
very
Yeah,
much on
came up
that.
again.
The second item, right, it's regarding, this past weekend, I think the gentleman touched upon a point, very key point here about the streets. I went over, just rode my bike for maybe about 10 minutes here in the Sherwood Forest area, right? They'd send out a document with PDF file with more than 55 pictures, just randomly riding my bike of areas, different areas where we need road maintenance or repair.
Right.
So I was here at the last meeting. I volunteer my time to, whenever there's a CITT meeting or any Miami-Dade meeting, I'll go over there, and the intent of sending you this PDF file with the pictures is for you guys to utilize in any upcoming Miami-Dade meeting. I'll make myself available, but definitely we need the funding to repair our streets. And not just in Sherwood Forest, but there's also 89th Street there, some minor areas. So just, that's my second point there.
So I think we all agree that the entire, almost the
Yeah, I can hear
entirety.
you.
No, I can't hear me?
Uh-uh.
This is better? There we go, I got it, okay. Let's try that.
Say it.
I just want to say that we discussed for, I think, a few years now, that the entirety of the village in terms of roads and sidewalks is outdated and in need of a lot, right? So it's right now just a search of funding. We have the plans. In fact, we have one of the most advanced street plans in the county, I think, because of the work that the urban planners have done. It's strictly a matter of funding. So I don't think there's any debate about the need for considerable amount of street resurfacing, repair, redesign even. We're all in search of funding right now.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think so, but there's been a lot of surveys, a lot of studies, and we're at a point that we need to execute. That's where and since we're in the FY 2024-25 budget, I would like to ask the council if we could use that as a priority, and also the village manager as a priority to start. You know, we've done so many studies. We know there's an issue, right? But
So-
we're getting at a point that.
The studies had nothing to do with street redesign. So the priority remains pedestrian and for both motorized and non-motorized travel throughout the village, essentially. Okay, so those studies were done specifically so that we could petition the county to allow us to lower the speed limits, which we have now been successful in doing, honestly, in large part to the manager's efforts. And so, the result of those studies actually warranted a massive win in our ability to lower the speed limits in the village, which is a start to getting to where we need to be in terms of pedestrian, bicycle safety, as well as, the fluidity of the motorized traffic moving. The prohibition of people from outside the village using the village as a cut-through, and maintaining the flow of traffic on the main throughways. Again, the disruption of Miami Avenue Bridge being a significant disruption for a very long period of time now, which I think we see is almost close to completion. They look so close. So, so again, in terms of the need for street repair and sidewalk, like the addition of sidewalks and then the sidewalk repair for existing sidewalks, like a budget of $91,000 gets us not even started. So, so that is why the priority then goes to, okay, we are in triage. So also remember, we barely survived the catastrophe, the financial catastrophe that followed Irma, right? So in terms of salaries as well, we are still playing catch up a little bit in terms of contracted agreements, in terms of back pay and money owed. So I agree that the clarification of adding those line items will help delineate all of those issues that right now are essentially verbal as far as the residents are concerned.
Great. No, and I'll make myself available for whatever meetings you need for the residents to show up and bring those concerns regarding the street repair. Hopefully, we get some funding, right?
Honestly,
If you know of any upcoming
I'll just
one?
say it, DeSantis has been our biggest hurdle in terms of accomplishing anything to that degree. I'm curious, Mayor, I would even say maybe the railway. Who knows? There might be something in there if we can illustrate that improvement of these roads would increase the overall safety of people traversing their right of way. It could be a long shot, I don't know, but in theory, I know they've had quite a bit of fatalities in the past 4 years or so, and I think the work going on right now at 79th Street illustrates that they are, still essentially catching up to where they need to be in terms of having everything operating properly for the safety of anybody traversing the railroad tracks. And so who knows, there might even be something, it wouldn't be for the whole village, but maybe something for 87th Street or, even what have you. So I think that might be worth a discussion.
May I also add, as Councilperson Urban stated, our urban planners just conducted a resilient streets master plan. They presented it, or he presented it to the Planning and Zoning Committee, and it's to be coming up on the September council agenda. So that may be an opportunity to see what they're presenting, and because the master plan, just like our stormwater and our septic, just all those things, these are our guides to what we can afford as time goes on. In 2019, we did have our engineer do a survey of the village to see what road repairs would cost, and it was well out of our price range. And we do have that if you'd like to see it. But again, that was prices from 2019 that was over $2 million. So we did conduct a pothole repair on September 9th that repaired 9 of the ones that were on our inventory. Street repair is not pothole repair, so as you know, Mr. Dreyer, so, you know, those are things we will address as we can.
Is there a quick idea here? I know we have a lobbyist firm contracted for the upcoming year. Is it something we could prioritize as far as the request to Tallahassee, perhaps based on showing some of the evidence that, I'm not sure if my evidence helps out, but maybe having them prioritize some requests for funding from Tallahassee? Just an idea, I'm just throwing some ideas.
Yes,
and-
no,
and
no,
as a matter of
absolutely,
fact-
absolutely, infrastructure would be a
And
good.
as a matter of fact,
request.
the increase and density increase on the Cavista, even though it's in the next area, it brings up the population. So through the CITT funding, we might get an increase in those funds to then do some major repairs. But, yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
sorry.
Mayor,
Yeah,
Am I
and,
correct? Yeah, right?
Councilperson Lightfoot Ward, I know Attorney Geller had his hand up also.
the
I'll
CIT,
defer to the councilwoman, though.
having been on the CITT, you really have to, there is a process. And it doesn't, it's like an annual thing. You have to be engaged. The public has to be engaged. I'm no longer on the CITT, but while I was there, the public has to be involved. And your comments would be ideal to the CITT, because that's where the money's gonna come. And Citizen Independent Transportation Trust is more likely to facilitate us, because when I was there, it was like, hey, guys, I know we doing over here, but how about these little bitty villages right here, and I happen to live in one. So you're on target, but I encourage you to go to the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where I'm gonna need your guidance, though. Never been to a ITT meeting, right? That's why I come first level here, right? For maybe partner up with you. It seems you probably know a little bit how the process used to work, how we can engage with the CITT. But the intent here is just to maybe just have this conversation a trigger. Maybe we get the
manager.
the manager, we talked to the, whatchamacallit, the Tallahassee folks. Maybe we could try the CITT, having your great experience here. I'll partner up with you or with the mayor or even with the manager. You know, that's the intent. I created a PDF file with more than 55 pictures. Hopefully you got the chance to look at them.
I haven't seen them.
But I send it to all of you guys. I'll make myself available, but I need your guidance.
Sure.
I cannot just show up there. They're probably gonna say, Mayor Nickerson or one of your council members needs to be
I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
What's
They'll
that?
know me. I'll go with you.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let
I'll
me
go
know
with you.
when and we go there, definitely.
Here's what we're gonna do. Since I'm retired and you're still working,
Yes.
Citizens Independent Transportation is on the web.
Mm-hmm.
So just Citizens Independent Transportation. Notice, we're independent.
Mhm.
We don't take nothing from nobody. Citizens, we just simply go and ask for it. Citizens Independent Transportation Trust is readily available on the web. And right now, I don't know who the president is, okay, or the chair is right now, but you have my number, yes? You will tonight.
You have my email. I sent you all the pictures.
I have it.
And with my number.
I have an
so,
old
I'll-
computer. I
You have
don't
an
get.
old computer, so
I
you don't
get-
open emails?
Yes, but they don't open up all the time.
Manager, do we still give laptops? to
We got our
the council
laptops.
person?
We
And it's
have
an
our
old
laptop.
computer?
No, it's just that the laptop in and of itself is not what I use. I use mine because I know where to look, okay? So that one's on me. I'll take that one, okay? I'll take that one, but that's not the issue right here. The issue is face-to-face. I know the CITT.
Let me know when the next meeting is, and I'll definitely join you.
All right, that's good. That's a fair
If that's
thing.
an agreement?
That's a fair thing. You have my card, my personal card.
I have your
We're gonna
number,
do it.
Dr. Ward,
Mhm.
if it's the same one, yeah,
That's the same.
definitely.
I like your spirit. I really do.
Yeah, I just want to keep that momentum. I just want you guys be energized, still care for the village, right? I see there's a lot of good work done, but let's keep it moving. This is the right time to make goals with the FY 2024-25, so definitely,
Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate you much.
It's all good,
It is all good.
right? All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just let me add that the CITT option is a very good option, and I certainly encourage that, former Councilman Dreyer, and working with council member at Lightfoot Ward. You can do a lot with CITT. I do want to put one little note of caution about Tallahassee. We have very good lobbyists, and typically, you know, the manager, the mayor, members of the council go up there and work their hearts out. But Tallahassee is not a kind place, particularly to places in South Florida. And sometimes all the logic, information, and persuasion in the world is just not enough to move people who are decision makers in Tallahassee. They, you know, have their own agendas, and they're difficult sometimes to navigate, and they don't always make sense. So I'm not saying it's not a good place to try, but anything you can get done within the confines of Miami-Dade County is much more reliable than counting on something coming from Tallahassee, but still worth the effort. That's why we have the lobbyists. They're very good lobbyists. Thank you.
And also with the county, right? Miami-Dade?
Absolutely, absolutely. Had a really good meeting with Commissioner Hardeman's office this morning, myself and the manager, and really told them, when we're talking about our list of asks, the first thing that we told them was that street repair has risen on our list, and we told them specifically Sherwood Forest Park. As a matter of fact, on this text right here with Keon Hardeman's office, she said, what's the actual location? We're going to send somebody out. This was, Ms. Augustine said, we're going to send somebody out to see how much that location would cost. And I put street road repair, Sherwood Forest, Northeast 85th Street and 86th Street between Northeast 2nd Avenue and Village Hall. And she said, thank you very much. We'll send somebody out to monitor that area, and we'll get back to you. So, so hopefully we can, we'll be with that too. So hopefully, between all these different avenues that we're attacking it from, it'll come through. We care about street repair. As the manager just said, in 2019, when we priced it out, it was $2 million or slightly over $2 million. So it's not like we don't care about it, it's just that we don't have the funding. And I think a lot of people a lot of times get confused about street repair and about potholes. And so a lot of times people see things and they'll just say like, well, that's super small. I mean, the street's here and then there's like a little indention like this big and things like that. But they don't look at it like that. They look at it as potholes. It's just that immediate area. But they look at where you have a street where it may be a small indention along the side of the street or a couple of little craters in the middle of the street that are really small. They don't look at that as a pothole. They say, okay, for something like that, we have to repave that entire street or that entire area of the street, and that costs a lot more money. So that's the reason why. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Always, Councilperson Dreyer. It's all good. Any last questions or comments from the council? I already have a motion. I already have a second. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call, please?
Roll call. Councilperson Lightfoot Ward,
Yes.
Councilperson Erba,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Perella,
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very much. Yes. Come on up. Good and welfare. We have good and welfare. Come on.
Does the motion, sorry, I just want to be accurate here. Does the motion motion get approved with the request to add the GL codes for the manager and the clerk to specify the salary and the PTO.
Of course, but
Yes.
that would be in, that would be like in, like moving forward, right? For like all this year, that would be
Yes.
like moving forward all this year and, so it'd be ready for all this year into next year. For the current budget that we're looking at, that looks at because the only year to date we have is this current year, right? And so we weren't going to, did you want us to look at the current year?
What I'm requesting is we're reviewing this budget, right?
Mhm.
Based on what I see here, I'm requesting that specifically the village administrative, there be an additional line item specifically for vacation, right? Added to the existing proposal here. The intent is just to keep track, right? For
And
that
we all
would-
agreed to that, but we didn't know if we needed a motion to add those line items instead of just saying, yeah, we can add them.
That's what I want to be
Yes.
clear before we approve.
That's what I thought we were gonna do. For second hearing, it's the same thing. The money is not being moved. It's just to add the line items about vacations and PTOs and stuff like that.
Correct.
So-
We could definitely add the line item, but just so that everybody understands,
Hold up, I can't.
as far as finance administration, there is no overtime. Everybody's a salaried employee, so there is no overtime.
Correct.
So adding the line item is just gonna show zero. As it relates to vacation, I mean, we can break out the vacation,
Please.
but please understand, I mean, I'm sure we all understand that the total cost is the same, right? So the vacation day is just replacing a work day. So it's just reallocating, I guess, the expense from one line item to a separate line item. The total expense is gonna be the
Perfect.
same.
It's just a reallocation, and the intent is, there's tracking for prior budgets. I know there's some other budget in 2022, 23, there was some more granular on different departments, but that is the request. I just want to make clear that that's where I'm at.
All right, well, all right.
Mayor,
so
Mayor, if I could, I mean, at this point, it sounds like the CFO is under
Listen,
notice that it's gonna be a request at the second hearing, so, I mean,
I work I work for the manager and for you guys. If you guys, if that's what the request is, then so be it. I will have it ready for the second hearing.
but I'm essentially saying that there is no request, but it seems obvious that there will be a request for that information at the second hearing. But I'm of the opinion that specific request is not part of what was just moved.
Correct.
Mayor?
That's why I came back.
If the numbers are identical, then what you could do would be to just include an explanatory footnote that states that the above number, which is the same number, includes both regular time and allocated vacation time, and just do it as an explanatory footnote. Is that possible, Mr. CFO?
Absolutely.
And that way, because you're not actually changing numbers.
Right.
You're just trying to clarify, and you can do that basically by adding an explanatory footnote that includes what's being covered, so that there is no confusion. And that way, your numbers don't actually, they're not changing, but you are making the point that Councilman Dreyer was making, so that somebody looking at it can understand, and you're explaining. It's an explanatory footnote, and I think it gets you where he's looking to go, and still doesn't require an actual amendment to your budget, because you're not changing numbers.
I'm being very explicit, adding not an explanation, because that gets lost. I'm being explicit to break it down by a GL code, a unique creation of whatever GL code would be for the PTO, for the administration one, and then for the clerk budget, there would be a GL code created for vacation, and another new GL code created for the overtime. That is the motion. I'm not looking for, and I apologize, I'm not looking for an explanation, because what happens is years go by, then, oh, did I take vacation? Well, here's how much we have a GL code year-to-date planned, and there's proper tracking done, at least in that way. So that's what I'm looking for, that full
Yeah,
visibility.
so-
And Mayor,
I'll
just
compare-
to
I can
clarify
paraphrase.
my opinion, I want to be clear that I was offering one possible way to do it. I wasn't saying that's the only way it could be done. That, of course, is up to the council, and if you want to actually instruct staff to make some other correction, presentation, allocation, that's certainly within the council's ability to
Thank you.
direct. Mine was just one possible explanation, method of getting that done.
Thank you for the clarification.
If I may, also just want to add, PTO is being tracked on a bi-weekly basis. We do have ADP, and ADP currently does track all the accruals as well as all of the issuances of sick pay, vacation pay, or any other types of pay that the employee asks for. So that is being tracked on a regular basis. Can't speak for what happened in the past, but, you know, once we started with ADP, everything's been being tracked
So
on a
can-
bi-weekly basis.
No, thanks for that explanation. So can I ask, request here? Can I ask for the council to bring, somebody from the council to bring a motion to add a GL code for, instruct, no, because I apologize. I just want to be clear of my request, right? I did send out an email, right, to the council as well. I didn't copy you, Madam Manager, but I just want to be clear with the intent of the request.
And
And I
Mayor,
apologize, I want to be just clear here.
And then I have to bring you up when,
So can I request somebody from the council, make a motion?
I
for-
want-
to ins-
I would be willing to make a motion if it would be possible. I'll find out if it is in a second, but I just want
But you
to make a
just said-
comment before I would make that motion. So I just want to, for clarification, that we're on the same page. If this paraphrase is correct, let me know. So I'll just start by saying my favorite saint is Doubting Thomas. He went to heaven, okay? He's a saint, all right? It's my favorite saint, Doubting Thomas. So in the spirit of what I believe the resident is saying is, that's fine, but prove it. That transparency is, that's, I mean, that is something that I think that is owed as much as possible in any circumstance to the residents. Anytime there is an availability to be any more transparent, then I think it would, you know, behoove us to do that. And so I'll just leave, am I understanding that correctly, at least that, yeah.
So back to, thank you, Councilperson Anders. Back to my request for bringing up
yeah,
a
we're
motion.
bringing the motion. I just want to make sure we have everything
Sure,
that you
thank
want,
you.
Councilperson Stray. So you're talking about regular pay, vacation, holiday pay, PTO, sick pay, overtime.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where is applicable, yeah. And creating a GL code, yes.
Okay. So you guys have that. So we have 6 different things.
So can we bring the motion though, right now, to the council? I just,
You want to add to his motion? Okay. He can stay up, just come up here. He can step to the side real quick, and then you can come. Say your name, address for the record. Just stay right there for a second more. You can say it. Sir, you can say it, and then we can add to from what you say.
That's fine, I just want to make sure it was done.
Very good.
So I think the intention would to add all contingent contract liabilities as well as a GL item.
Okay.
You could add that to the list.
All right.
So I'd also want to be clear, you said, yeah, we'd add the hurricane prep right away. Can that be part of the motion and street and sidewalk repair in the budget, even if it's a 0? Just so we can see, since 2019, it hasn't been funded by the council or mayor, including
Okay.
this year.
All right.
Okay?
Okay. No problem.
So yes, that'll be added as an amended to the motion.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
There's no guarantees yet.
Whatever the council wishes, I can do. If they want me to add individual line items, again, no harm, no foul. It's not going to change the overall budget. It's just reclassifications of some line items. And speaking with the attorney, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we've already approved the budget, so any modifications from the first hearing will have to be highlighted when we go through the second budget. Again, makes no difference to me. I'll make whatever necessary changes need to be made. Just want to put the full disclosure out there to everybody, so everybody knows what it entails, now making modifications.
Okay. The gentleman would like to add to the budget a line item for street repair and sidewalks, even if it's zero. He wants the line items for street repair
Yeah,
and sidewalks.
consistent with the 2020 budget.
If I can just get it in writing, I mean, there's a lot of requests going on, so if somebody could just put it all down, or maybe a public record request, or just, or give it to me so that I have it, and I'll be more than happy to make whatever changes are necessary.
Well, for the
Any-
record, I'll hand him what we're looking for in writing.
Mayor, just to be clear, you don't need to have something written in advance for the council to approve the request for a change for second reading directed to the manager and the CFO. However, whatever vote you take to direct that should be reduced to writing, which the clerk and I can collaborate on, and then signed. It is in effect a resolution, even though it was not presented in advance. So it's fine to vote to make some change in the presentation, even if it doesn't mean the actual numbers are being changed. If you choose to do that, it's within the authority of the council to vote to direct the manager and the CFO to make that change. But, not to be redundant, but we will have to reduce whatever you vote to writing, so there is a record of it which the manager and the CFO can rely upon in making any changes that you direct.
Okay. So we've already voted the budget, we voted budget through. All right, so as far as motions to add certain line items to the budget, okay. The first thing, and let me just ask you something, sir. So when you consider potholes and things like that, you don't consider that street repair?
So I'm just asking that the budget be itemized consistent with 2020. I don't know what you call a pothole or street repair.
Okay.
You haven't explained it, or if you have an explanation, but it's not in the budget. There is no pothole or street repair in your budget.
Okay.
So the line item's been removed. We'd like it returned because it's a major issue. The neighbors are talking about it, and it just looks like it's been removed. I don't
Okay.
know who removed it or why.
All right. All right, so we'll add that to it. And I thought I did explain potholes compared to street repair and how they explain it.
There's no expenditure, I'm sorry, sir, there's no expenditure last year reported.
Yeah.
So
But you-
all we have is your verbal explanation.
But you said but you said there's no clarification on what's considered a pothole and what's considered street repair.
What was spent on September 9th? How many dollars
We
for the
sp-
repairs?
We spent $5,000 for potholes. Now, if you consider pothole street repair, because it is repairing the street, the people where we do fill up the potholes, they're very happy about that street repair. But some people don't consider potholes street repair, so it just depends. But
Out
you're-
of
but you're-
the
but
CITT
it come out of the
funding.
CITT fund. Now, you're saying that you
And part
want
of the
that
Public
pulled
Works budget.
out, and you want to, and we'll do that, a
Public
line
Works and
item
CITT.
for potholes/street repair. We'll do that. We'll do a line item for potholes, street repair. CFO Tabofeld, can that be done?
Which also, the signs, sir, after the traffic study, all the street signs throughout the village, we had to pay for. And that was another $20,000 to $30,000 that came out of the CITT funding. So that's why we kind of like hold on the street repairs, like potholes and stuff, to, see into how much money we were gonna need from that CITT funding for the street signs. So after that was done, then the last pothole repairs, which the mayor is referring to, the 5,000 and change 4,000 and change was just recently done. Now, I see where you are asking for a street, for a line item for that, but it's, that is being deducted from the CITT fundings.
No, it's shown separately in past budgets. Currently, the CITT budget says utilities. Are those the street signs, utilities, as an expenditure?
I don't know, the manager will have to ask that, or the CFO.
Or
I'll
contingencies.
answer that.
What was the question? I'm sorry?
Just so I can make sure we have those line items in there.
Page,
The 2020 budget? Yeah, okay, so you said, all right. There's no street repair? No, I'm saying, show me the 20. I had to give it to him. Oh, the 2020 budget he has. That's what I'm asking for. I didn't know you had to give it to him. That's what I'm
Harry,
asking.
You
for.
need
Harry,
it in writing, sir.
Is the
he's saying
2020
page,
budget. So I
page
can see-
14, he's
Can-
asking
can-
what's included in utilities.
Can you just show the repairs?
The
for
utility
roads?
line item is the FP&L related fees.
What I'm trying,
Page 14.
I'm on page 14.
Okay, so we-
Utilities and contingencies.
Sure. And you want another line item to show,
I just had asked that it be consistent with the 2019 budget, which
I
had
have,
shown street
I have
repairs.
2020 here, not 2019.
I'm actually giving him a message from the attorney.
Well, okay, where's the public forum
Okay.
here?
You're not running the meeting.
sir,
All right, sorry, sir.
so you want a line item, I'm trying to figure out your line so we get them. So you want a line item for street repair, a line item for potholes, a line item for,
The request was to be consistent with the past budget. I've given that to the finance manager. I can,
okay, well, look, I don't
Pass
have
it
it in
back.
front of me, so that's what I was trying to figure out, that's all. No problem.
it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Let's bring it back. Bring it back.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, while you're reading, it just seems like we just need to bring the line item back, that's all. It was there before, you can bring it back.
Yes, I understand, but I want
Thank
to
you.
bring back the correct line item.
Yes.
That's all, that's what I'm saying. And so, and what we should probably do is, instead of even street and sidewalk repair, we should probably keep it together. I'm trying to see if we should even keep it together or pull it apart. And hurricane prep and right-of-way trimming. Do you want that just like it is here, hurricane prep and right-of-way trimming? Or do you want hurricane prep to be different than right-of-way trimming?
Sir, I just asked that it be broken out similar with past budgets, because it was zeroed out after this budget.
Yeah.
We can't see what's being spent where, it's being labeled as other things.
I understand, but I just want to be, I'm looking for exactly what you want, because right now it just says tree trimming. In this current budget, right here on the 2020 budget, it says hurricane prep and right-of-road trimming. Do you want hurricane prep and right-of-road trimming just like it is here, or do you want
Just like
hurricane?
it is in the
Just like
past.
it is here, okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
We're just asking how much money's being spent on the streets this year, and it's not in current form or match the past form. And it seems like Public Works salaries are over allocated to the budget, which currently leaves $0 for any repair. It's unclear.
All right, I understand. All right, so you have your motion.
There's a motion on the table then?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, nope.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, nobody's motioned it. Everybody understand what we're talking about, regular pay, vacation pay, holiday pay, PTO, sick pay, overtime. Okay? So those are, what's that, 6 different things. Now,
For the manager and the clerk budget.
yes, for the manager and the
Or
clerk's budget.
applicable.
Yeah, all 6 of those things for the manager and the clerk's budget. For these line items, so we have 6 for the manager and clerk's budget, regular pay, vacation pay, holiday pay, PTO, sick pay, overtime. We have 2 for the for the special revenue going with street repair, and sidewalk repair, we'll put those together. Street repair and sidewalk repair for a line item. Hurricane prep and right-of-way trimming, ROW trimming, for the second line item. Okay? CFO Toppenfeld, Attorney Geller, for those line items to be added to the budget, is it okay to take just a motion, or do I need a resolution?
A motion, in this case, is effectively a resolution. It was not written in advance because no one talked about it in advance. But the motion is not adding them to the budget. You've already voted to adopt the budget on first reading. But you can direct the manager and CFO to prepare an amendment to the first reading budget for consideration at the second public hearing. And if it is introduced, voted on, and adopted, it would amend what you've passed on first reading. It is in effect a resolution, and as I indicated earlier, if you vote to direct that by motion, to direct the preparation of an amendment to be considered on second reading, then the clerk and I will need to collaborate in reducing that to writing so that the directions to the manager and the CFO are clear, so that you get what you're asking for to be presented at the second hearing as an amendment to the budget approved on first reading.
For these, to add these extra line items, do I have a motion?
So moved as outlined by the mayor and illustrated by the attorney.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second, Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call for this?
Roll call. Councilperson Martin. I'm sorry, Councilperson Lightfoot Ward.
Yes.
Councilperson Erba.
No.
Vice Mayor Perella.
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-2.
All right.
3-1.
Thank you very much. Anybody else for, any further good and welfare?
So, just a quick question. So
Of course.
hopefully we'll have a document from the clerk and composed with the attorney on the specific items for consideration in the second reading. Is that from what I understood?
Yeah, I think there'll be, so what there'll be line items added to, like the budget showing these, particular like categories, basically.
Yeah, the motion is the direction to have that prepared.
Correct.
But what has been, as far as the budget is concerned, that sits at where we were
Exactly.
at the previous motion.
Which is unfortunate, because that's why I stood up here, I requested those two items, right? And I think there was an agreement, even from you, Councilperson Anders, and it's unfortunate that you, so I would like to understand why the difference in the motion, why.
Because it was an understanding to be going forward. I'll just cut to the chase. It was understanding that for the next fiscal year and beyond, that's how we would operate it. That's where I was operating from. The request was clear, but, so that's it. That's my answer.
Why did you vote no for the motion?
Uh,
I'm just curious.
Because so I couldn't be 100%, I wasn't unanimous with the full list of items that was being requested. That's the short answer there.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
there anyone in particular one?
I was in the initial discussion of the two chartered positions, and those delineations within the, salaries, PTO, time off, all of that was where I was at. The addition without really opportunity to suss it out regarding the public works issues is essentially why I arrived at no.
Okay.
Not that I disagreed with any of the discussion, simply that I was prepared to agree to the initial discussion regarding the chartered positions.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Councilperson.
And I hope I did not offend anybody here It's just we wanna.
We all have
exactly-
thick skin. We've been through a lot.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to offend you, Madam
I
Clerk.
was giving him a message.
wanted-
You're not new to this. You've been here before.
Yes.
You've left. You know how this runs. You're not new
Exactly.
to the thing. You can public request at any point, any of that stuff that you're asking.
No, I'm not public requesting anything.
I'm just saying, you're giving directives to the council on what to
Yeah.
do. That's your,
Yeah.
when it comes to, I was telling the.
I just wanted for him to focus on the attention, so that's why I called out. I know I'm not running the meetings.
Thank you very much, former
Thank you.
Councilperson Dreyer. Anybody else for good and welfare, you guys?
It's my daughter's 12th birthday.
All right, I'm gonna get you out of here. Let me just say for the record, Madam Manager, that when we first came in, this administration first took over, Madam Manager, we had, as far as sidewalks and street repair, we had from the Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. You guys all know that wear the hat. And see, this is why I tell residents to contact me. My card, I put in all my flyer packets, so my information is everywhere. Everybody has my contact information. Is because a lot of times things happen behind the scenes, Madam Manager, that we don't want to say out loud so that we don't ruin relationships, Madam Manager. But then since residents don't want to contact me so that I can tell them what's going on, we had $840,000 allocated from Washington, D.C. through Congresswoman Frederica Wilson's office for street repair and sidewalk repair for the village, for this side, 87th Street going back, and Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who wears the hats, after we allocated that money and they said it was coming to us, they killed that project and moved that money, and we fought hard for that money, hard for that project. Now, I wouldn't want to say that out aloud, but if I don't, then residents think we're not doing anything, or we're not trying to go for anything, or we're not going to Washington, D.C., or we're not going to Tallahassee, and we're not fighting hard, which we are, which I am. Now, that being the case, me saying this out loud in the public arena, Congresswoman Wilson will probably be upset by this, and it'll probably hurt this relationship. But if I don't say it, then you have residents standing up here saying, you guys aren't doing anything, you guys aren't doing anything, you guys aren't doing anything, you guys aren't doing anything. But we do a lot. And we allocate a lot of money. Okay, thank you very much. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Lightfoot Ward, and the second by, is that Councilperson Urban?
Yes.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing none. The first budget hearing for Tuesday, September 9th is adjourned at 8:02 p.m.